Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Superhero Gamer, and today we're breaking down everything you need to know about the brand new Peacemaker event in DC Worlds Collide. This event has a lot going on: login rewards, time-gated missions, a special boss fight, event shops, and of course, the big question: should you summon for Peacemaker or save your resources? Before we dive in, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my future DC Worlds Collide guides, event breakdowns, and team builds. Alright, let's jump right into this. If you were here for launch, you'll notice this event feels very similar to the Superman DCU event we had earlier. These events follow a structure that mixes easy daily rewards with a big boss challenge. First off, we're going to have our 7-day login event calendar. That's going to be our Eagerly Delivery. And basically you just log in daily. Sounds simple, and it adds a lot of resources over the week. Missing even one of these days means you're leaving some rewards on the table. So make sure you get in the habit of just logging in every day, especially for this event. So up next, we have our time-gated missions, which is going to be this one right here. This time-gated event runs for 14 days total. One part is already unlocked. Second unlocks in 2 days, and the third in 4 days. You'll have the entire event period to complete them, but you don't want to wait till the last minute. Early completion means more time to farm and strategize. And then a tip I can give you for this event is just setting up a reminder on your phone, logging in, clearing these daily tasks. Only takes a few minutes a day, and it can really snowball into stronger progress later. So up next, we got our Peacemaker boss fight. Basically right here, you're gonna come down here, click on this, and you'll be in here. I want to go over his abilities real quick. Let's go with the ultimate. The ultimate is Sonic Boom. It's gonna boost his physical damage taken by your team by 30%, and it hits very, very hard. This can actually wipe out a lot of your team, so you kind of want to prep before he activates this in order to protect your team. His next one is his basic attack. His basic attack deals pretty decent damage. But the thing that we want to add to this is his basic attack stacks armor break twice now instead of just once. So going to be doing a lot of armor break, especially to your tanks. Then we have Peace at any cost. Gives himself a huge physical damage reduction. So you don't really want to bring physical damage dealers when you're dealing with this Peacemaker event. So his next one is going to be No Wrong Time to Rock. And basically, whenever one of our allies dies, he's going to heal himself for 30% and heal his allies for 10%, plus gives all of his allies shelter. This isn't going to be too much of a problem, mainly because it's just point-based, so the more damage you do, the more points you're going to get. So this one doesn't really matter a whole lot. And then his special effect for this one is going to be Gunpoint Peace. And basically for this one, he's going to get hard hit, and it's going to stack every time he's attacked. But if you do a critical attack, he is going to lose a stack of hard hit. So for this boss fight, I'm going to recommend a crit team. Let's go in here. I'll show you a crit team real quick. So this is going to be like a standard crit team that you can use. If you don't have these characters, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Basically, you just want to get in here and do as much damage as possible. Remember, he's going to be taking less physical damage by like 75%. So if you don't have these characters, run like a superpowered team and just make sure they got crit gear on them. But yeah, like this is just an example. You can use whoever you want. And then some tips for the Peacemaker boss fight is you don't want to just go in with your highest power team. You want to bring characters that crit often, mainly because you want to get rid of those hard hit stacks. And then some tips for this Peacemaker boss fight: don't necessarily go in with your highest power team. You want to bring characters who can crit often. I mean, this boss fight's pretty straightforward. You just want to try to maximize your points on this. Get as many of these points unlocked as you can, and that way you get this currency in order to get more items in the shop. And then obviously there is going to be a leaderboard for this. It's going to be right here in the ranking system. If you're free to play, don't worry about this too much. Just focus on maximizing your own score. Really, you're only looking to get these rewards here, so you want to try to get the maximum amount of rewards for this. And if you do end up ranking, that's great, but it's not really something that a free-to-play player should try to push for. And then some tips for this boss fight is you want to time your ultimates wisely. You want to stack burst windows or crit to get higher points. You don't want to be afraid to try this a few times. I mean, RNG can really swing your score by like a lot. So, do this as many times as you want. Try to get the highest score possible, and try again maybe the next day, or after you've leveled up your characters a little bit or something. And then again, your main goal here is not to rank, it's to collect points and to be able to claim everything from the boss fight. All right, next thing we're going to go over is we're going to go over the set lists, which are dailies and seasonals. Your daily missions are going to be your bread and butter for event currency. You never want to skip these. You want to try to get these done every single day. You're going to need as many points as you can get in order to unlock some of the better rewards in the store, which we'll go over here in a few minutes. And then we got our seasonal missions. Your seasonal missions are going to take longer, but they're going to reward you with golden helmets. Some require you to complete event stages and other certain milestones. Like this one's going to make you spend 300 silver helmets. This 200, clear Elseworld 8 times. So it's going to take you a minute to get some of these. You should be able to get them done by the time the event is over. And then a pro tip for your daily missions and season missions is you want to get these knocked out as early as possible. That way you have more currency to spend on the shop later. Now let's go ahead and go over the event shop. So the first thing I want to mention in the silver helmet shop is going to be for super encrypted tokens. They're ultra rare and are the only way that you can summon legendary heroes. So you want to get as many of these as possible. Another great thing that you're going to want to get is your super encrypted tokens. You're going to want to try to get as many of these as possible. These are going to be great for your epic pulls, and essentially if you want to get Vigilante and Judo Master. So towards the end of the event, if you have any extra currency that you've already gotten, all of these, you're going to want to get your Inertron fragments, and you also want to get your Inertronite. These are going to help you level up your badges. They're always great for long-term investment of characters. Now let's go ahead and move on to our gold helmet. Again, for super encrypted tokens, they're going to be at the top of the list. Your number one priority for this event is going to be as many super encrypted tokens as you can get. Other than that, you also want to try to pick up maybe Mr. Terrific or Guy Gardner fragments. These characters are still very, very, very strong, and they're not yet in the general pool for you to be able to summon. So just make sure, if you've already gotten all of these, you want to try to get Mr. Terrific shards or Guy and Gardner shards. And then the last thing I want to mention in this shop is going to be your reinforcement rank up chips. These are really good. They're going to help you progress your reinforcements. And then again, if you have extra fragments or if you have extra currency at the end, you want to get your fragments for your badges. And then like the overall shop strategy is going to be like prioritizing rare limited time items that you can't get like anywhere else. Think of it like building your account for the long haul rather than, like quick boosts. And now for the big question. Should you summon Peacemaker? If you plan on running the Peacemaker team, that's Peacemaker, Vigilante, and Judo Master, then yes, I would summon him. If you're low on resources, don't think that you're going to be able to summon Peacemaker, then I recommend skipping him. It's a very high investment for your currency if you're going to try to get him. It can take up to 150 of these summons, so if you can't get that 150 summons, just skip it. Skip Judo Master and skip Vigilante and wait for the next team to come out and go for them. It's also important to note that Vigilante and Judo Master will most likely have a rate up banner, and that's when you'll have the better odds of getting them, but there's still no guarantee that you'll get them. So make sure, if you are going to summon, make sure you have a lot of currency saved up so that you're able to get those characters. Otherwise, again, you're going to want to save for the next team to come out. And then for like a quick comparison, like Superman DCU came out and he was okay. He wasn't like super crazy up until his buff. Once he got buffed, he became amazing. But like he was okay when he released, and he required like pretty heavy investment. But Peacemaker brings his own unique mechanics, well, not really unique, but like he's a lot different than like Superman DCU was, mainly because he's a tank. Like he's going to be able to soak up damage. Stack that new debuff Fragile and armor breaks and a whole bunch of stuff. Like he's pretty unique, but he's going to take his whole team basically to make him work. He can also be used in like a crit team, which I think is pretty cool. And then, you know, Judo Master and Vigilante will probably also be able to work in a crit type team. But overall, if you're wondering if you should summon Peacekeeper, you know, if you don't have enough currency, I'd say skip. If you're a collector or just love Peacekeeper as a character, then yeah, I'd say he's worth chasing. If you're strictly mid-maxing for PvP, then you might want to wait until the meta actually shakes up. I don't think he's going to shake up the meta too much. I know his season's going to be here, and he's going to do some pretty cool stuff in Elite Arena, but long-term viability, I'm not too sure about him. I will be doing like a full review on Peacemaker and his kit and everything. I think the team itself is going to be decent for this PvP meta, but like the next season, they might just drop off entirely. So, yeah, just wait until, you know, we get content creators to do more reviews on these characters, and we'll let you actually know like if it's viable to summon these characters or not. So events like this are pretty good. They're going to get you some resources that you can't normally get a lot of. And since Vigilante and Judo Master are, you know, expected to come soon, we're going to be able to actually review the full team. I know they just did a live stream, but it didn't really show off everything that like most of us wanted to see. We also might be able to expect that, you know, if Peacekeeper isn't performing very well, that there is a chance that his kit could get reworked or buffed or something. So, you know, if he feels like he's not performing very well in the future, he might be, you know, if he gets buffed. But we're basically just going to have to wait until the rest of the team is out to see how they really function in all the different game modes and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the full breakdown of the Peacemaker event in DC Worlds Collide. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Are you summoning for Peacekeeper right away, or are you saving for Vigilante and Judo Master to release before you start summoning? Or are you just going to skip this banner entirely? If this guide helped you out, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my upcoming full Peacemaker team guide and future breakdowns. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never